episode number 248, 2019, year in review. Welcome to the Camaro Show,
a podcast about all things Camaro and GM performance news.
I'm Chris Frezza.
And I'm Jason Debler.
We're your hosts for this week's episode of the Camaro Show. Want to be part of our show? It's easy.
Just leave a message on our voicemail hotline at 586-486-3182.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And welcome back, everyone, for another exciting episode of the Camaro Show. I'm Chris.
I'm Jason. Is that you?
It's starting over again. I'm getting used to the new soundboard here.
Oh, probably has a repeat.
Has like
on
an
it or
auto
something
repeat
like that.
or something like that. Yeah.
Well, heck, hit it again, man.
Welcome.
Oh boy. Okay, so welcome to our year in review. We do this every year. We've done this show, I think.
We have. We have.
I
It's fun. It's fun. It gives us a chance to look back, reminisce, have some fun, go to Gapplebee's, whatever we got to do.
Oh, you can go to Hello Operator. Yeah, and we're gonna do that. We're also gonna give out some interesting stats. We pulled some quick stats of which episode is most listened to, the top countries, top cities that listen to the show. Some other things that are just kind of cool for us to know, and as well for you to know as part of our listening audience that we always appreciate very much. So
Yeah.
we're not going to do any voicemails or emails this week, and next week we're actually going to do a decade in review.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff. I mean, we're ending the 2010 to 2020.
Teens.
We're the teens. Like, it was an important decade for Camaro. It was a very important decade because it came back, But we're going to get into that next week.
Yes. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. So be sure to tune in. Don't miss the next one.
No, don't.
Well, if you're missing this one, then you're probably going to miss the next one too. All right, let's get into the weekly round, or I'm sorry, the year in review. That you know what I'm talking about. You should do it.
Yeah.
Chris, Go ahead and start because apparently I'm stupid.
Oh boy, this was a good year, man. This is a good year. We come into the 200 episodes.
Very special.
Let's see, where we come in here.
We can't 197.
Yeah, 197. Yeah, own a piece of Camaro movie history. That was our first episode, and that's when they were selling all the Bumblebee cars, right? So we talked about that.
First episode of 2019. What else was in that
January
episode?
6th. That was General Motors releases their fourth quarter sales figures.
Jim Perkins passed away.
Oh yeah, Mark Royce was promoted to president of General Motors, and you paid $11, or somebody paid $11.26 for a screw.
Oh, you know who that was?
I think that was Sean, right?
That was Sean from Oceanside. He got screwed by a screw.
Yeah. We also, our show was now added to Spotify.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And after we do the recap, we're going to kind of just remind everybody of all the cool ways you can listen to the show. If you're using one way, you might not know that there's other options too. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah. Also, you, sir, won an incredible opportunity. You were picked to buy a brand new 2019 Copo Camaro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was awesome.
How was that?
Oh, yeah. I'm just enjoying knowing that somebody's racing that car somewhere.
Yeah. I wonder if you would ever be able to track down, like, since you passed on it, who got that opportunity and did they buy it?
I got to think that most people that get the email are like, yeah, I didn't really think I'd get it. In fact, I made a YouTube video about the process and what it's like to be chosen for a Copo Camaro. And a lot of people are like, why'd you sign up for it then if you couldn't afford it? It's because it's like one of those things like, what the heck? Maybe by then I will be able to afford it. You never know.
Yeah.
I might inherit a bunch of money from a rich uncle that I don't have. Or maybe that's just, who knows, man? But really, I thought, yeah, no way. But out of 4,000 people, I was one of 68 that were chosen. Yeah, I wanted to find out which car I would have gotten, and I probably could try because I know the person that does the emails personally, and see if I'd like to find the car one day. I'd like to go to Bowling Green and say this could have been my car, and then cut the brake line or something like that.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. So anyway, so that was episode number 198. We also talked about Camaro Superfest.
Mm-hmm. That was the next episode. We had Barry Hensel on, who's been running Camaro Superfest forever, and he talked about the upcoming show that was in July.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot. Did you go to that?
Did I?
I don't remember.
It's a blur, man. 2019's a blur. I may have.
Side note, I was reading more than one article about how people are losing concept of time in the 2010s. Like
because we're doing so much?
Great, maybe. I think we're inundated with so much, all this media, like podcast and such.
Mm-hmm.
Val reminded me that George Michael passed away 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he did?
Yeah.
I thought he was still alive. It's the Mandela effect. Yeah, and I think that's right. We got so media exploded. It fragmented so much. Mm-hmm. So, let's see, the episode number 199, Detroit Auto Show.
Oh,
you went to that though? Yeah, that
definitely.
Was cool.
Yeah, which is being now moved to June of this year. So no Detroit Auto Show to talk about this January.
That's okay because it's always cold. Bitter ass cold.
Cool. Episode 200. Jason made it back to Master Control Studio. Welcome back, Jason.
Master Control Studio?
Yeah, you came back here to the Master Control Studio.
Oh. Yeah, now I get it. Yeah, what was I doing? I was there for work. I was in your ear for work.
Yeah, we celebrated our 200th episode then.
That's cool. Yeah, that was a good episode. That was fun.
Barrett Jackson.
I hate that we have to say this. Technically, it's our 700th episode of doing podcasts.
Yeah.
What else? Let's see here. 201. Excuse me, 201. ZL1 1LE got an automatic transmission. What do you think of those transmissions?
The 10 speeds?
Yeah.
Badass. I would
love
one. I would absolutely love one.
Yeah.
And if I was to ever buy a new ZL1 now, I would definitely get it. Definitely.
Oh, it's strange, isn't it?
Yeah. I love my car. Speaking of car, it's been so warm here in Michigan, dude. I've been driving my car out with the top down.
Top down.
I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, Christmas Day just a few days ago was almost 70 here.
Yeah, it was almost 60 here.
I was out in the garage with shorts and a T-shirt.
Yep.
And I got my car back from the dealership after having the fuel pump replaced finally, and also some other stuff done on it. And I bought myself some long tube headers for Christmas when I was at SEMA.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's going to be some fun. So, anyway, let's see here. Episode, what is it, 202? It was just cold.
202.
We talk about how not to be an a-hole while reading Facebook group posts. What the heck was that about? Oh, yeah, some guy was being a complete jerk to us saying, what was it? Saying we didn't know what we were talking about? Or
probably.
Something about that. Oh, that was funny. We've had a few best of shows during the year.
Yeah.
A couple anyway. 203 was one. Camaro Fest 8.
204. Is this thing on? Must have been a slow news week. Looks like Ford's moved to quarterly reporting. Yes. We talked about that. I think, was it last week or the week before?
Last week, I think.
Yeah, and how they're all moving to quarterly reporting now.
Mm-hmm. 205. Oh, that was a good one, man. Having Tony Watley, a good friend of ours in this I was going to say in the studio, but he wasn't. He was from his own studio there in beautiful Texas.
Yep.
Talk about his stuff and what he's got going on, and he's really done really well with his business of 365 Driven, and what he's doing. It's pretty cool stuff, man. I'm glad he's doing great. He definitely knows his stuff and knows what to do and get things done. Oh boy, Camaro's getting faster every day was episode number 206.
Getting faster every day.
Faster every dang day. Let's see here. What else was what's that about? That was that Zeal 2018 Zeal 1 cracking the nines at 157 miles an hour. We had some slow spots throughout the year. I think a little bit slower than normal.
The year wasn't a really big Camaro news year. It was status quo. I can think of two main things, but we'll get to that.
Looking at number 207, I just saw this. Let's think about this. This is interesting. I forgot about this. Ford trolls Tesla on Twitter while they're unveiling the Model Y. Ford posted a picture of a neon blue outline Mustang horse with one sentence that said, "Hold your horses." That was number 207. When did that get released? That was March. So it went all the way from March to December. Was it November or December when they
Ford
released the
unveiled it.
Mach-E?
Yeah, it was November, I think, at the LA Auto Show.
Wow. They really did troll him good then. That was a time bomb troll.
Yep. Time bomb troll. Like that.
Yep.
Like that.
And then Camaro faster than Mustang, but doesn't really matter because it's getting to the point where it's ludicrous, useless speed.
Yeah.
209, another best of show. God, I miss Scott. Interview with our friend Scott Settlemeyer.
210. Spring into some hot Camaro news. Hot. Q1 2019 sales were released. Camaro sales were up by 2.7%. That's good.
Trans Am still not dead. Not God. Then, not now.
Oh boy. Yeah.
221 started. We talked a lot about electric stuff this year, not just Camaro, but just in general, how it's starting to change the landscape of vehicles. Something else that we might be touching on later on in episodes as the timeline goes is the polarizing front of the Camaro that still continue to rage arguments.
Rage.
This
brings back memories, these episodes, because
it does.
212 says Camaro on acid. Do you remember somebody poured acid all over a Camaro in Nevada? That 50th anniversary Camaro?
Oh,
I wonder whatever happened.
That was just rotten.
Mustang turned 55. Of course, the good folks at Chevrolet Arabia had to make fun of it. And SVE announced they were bringing back the Cyclone after 27 years.
Yeah, that thing's pretty kick-ass. Yep, that kind of acid thing. Why would somebody do that?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. The Challenger. It's like made of rock. It doesn't change, and it doesn't waver. It's just kicking butt.
Yep.
Gosh. Slow and steady, I guess.
Slow and steady.
Literally. Oh, let's see here. Oh, the new front end appearance. And then they fixed the front end.
They fixed it.
They fixed it all right. 215 spring Camaro update. That's the LT1. I saw an LT1 at the dealership when I picked up my Corvette.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. Like them a lot.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Oh, boy.
We've had a lot of great voicemails and emails over the past year. Well, every year, but we always really enjoy hearing them. I get excited. It's like having a present because we don't pre-listen to them before the show.
Nope.
They are what they are, and our reaction is a natural reaction.
And since we're not live on the radio, we can edit this, because a lot of times sometimes they're wrong numbers or
just in case somebody says "fuck you" and "fuck Camaro" too. Beep. We can beep it out or just delete it. Let's see here. Episode number 216. It was a best of show talking about Camaro Fest 8. 8?
Mm-hmm. That was the previous year.
Yeah. Gosh, that's good stuff.
You had all those nice interviews in there.
That was fun. And then, of course, one of my favorite episodes, the unofficial start of summer, was episode number 217.
Yeah.
There's always that one day in late spring or early summer, everybody kind of determines it differently, when it's just summer. And it's great, and you can feel it in the air, and you walk outside, and you're like, I'm going to leave the frickin' windows open, and I'm going to, drag race, or I'm going to, like you get that, I'm going to do something. And I love that feeling. I think it's great. Let's go drag racing up and down Gratiot.
Gratiot.
Up and down Gratiot. Oh, yeah, so on June 2nd, episode number 2018, they crashed their car into a buffalo?
2 dead buffalo. Yep.
Yeah, poor buffaloes.
The curious case of the crumpled Camaro and the 2 dead buffalo. Yep. Al showed off his rally green on his 2020 Camaro he was driving.
I like him and I hate him at the same time.
With white stripes. Shout out, Al.
Yeah, Al, such a cool guy, man. Great friend of ours and great friend of the Camaro.
We talked about a possible GM Ford merger on the horizon. And you were shaving your head again for charity.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did. And now look, my hair's all back again.
Now you got more in your face.
Yeah, it's wintertime. Plus, I don't have state guard drill until February, so I can get a beard in while I can. I don't think I've ever actually said those words before, so I can get a beard in while I can. All right, what episode are we going to talk about next?
2019.
219?
219.
Yeah, those updates. Shock and Steel Special Edition.
Yes. Love the shock color.
We had exclusive Camaro Fest 9 news.
We did. We made that announcement.
Yep, that was cool. Episode 2020. Camaros always make people happy, except when they're crashing hard while racing at the NHRA race. Forgot about that. That was the Father's Day episode.
Yeah.
You know, we also over the I remember that one. That was a bad accident. We also integrated quite a bit with musclecarsandtrucks.com, which has become really our source of genuine, legit, non-clickbaity, non-speculative, unless it's clearly said speculation, not trying to pass off speculation as fact, source. And really like partnering with musclecarsandtrucks.com. And
it's because we know Manny.
Yep, we know him well. We've had him in the studio a few times.
He's a veteran automotive journalist too, with over 10 years. So we know what we're getting with Manny.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we've known him for a long time. Oh, top 10 features speaking of which, they had an article, top 10 features we'd like to see on a Gen 7 Camaro. I agreed with most of them, not all of them though. Yeah. I remember that.
That was kind of cool.
I'm on a factory parachute. Remember when people used to say that?
Oh God.
Yeah, because all the that's just
there's
something
there's always the Camaro need T-tops.
Why?
Bring back the Firebird.
The Bandit.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
And the future of Camaro number 222. That was our biggest show of the year, by far.
Yep.
Where it was announced, by Muscle Cars and Trucks that the Camaro is going to be shelved after the 2023 model, or past 2023, because there's nothing scheduled. So, not that it's going to be canceled, that's going to be shelved. And then this story continued to grow all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is pointing back at this story as we go forward.
Yep.
What's going to happen? Is there going to be a 7 gen? Are they working on 7 gen? Very big.
We will find out.
Very
that came
big
out.
Story.
That article came out in June. That was
wow. So almost like a 6 months ago.
And it's still we haven't seen or heard anything about any 7th generation.
No.
It doesn't mean either way, but again, we've always said that Manny knows his stuff and he's got sources that nobody else has, and he doesn't make stuff up for fanfare.
Right.
And that was pretty sad.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else?
The world of Camaro as we know it.
Yeah. Dang, man.
This is where another bomb dropped. They're reporting that the 6th gen Camaro Z28 was canceled.
Yeah, that was a 1-2 punch when it comes down to
Exactly. It was like boom, boom, boom.
God, that's kind of sad. Let's see here. We talked about Camaro Fest 2019 in episode number 224. 225 was really more about the Corvette. That's when, in July 21st was the episode where we talked about the C8 Corvette, the Stingray.
It's here. Yeah.
Which is still slower than the ZL11LE.
Around the ring.
Another exclusive from Muscle Cars and Trucks. They just took the world by storm over the past year.
A lot of people are pointing to that article going, where is he getting this number from?
I'm sure that a lot of people are not happy. Well, I don't think anybody's happy to hear about some of these, but...
How can this be? Reveal your sources.
We had some... Sure, yeah. Apple likes to show, where they get their products and information too. I always use Apple because Apple's, we talk about over the past decade, who's kicked ass is Apple.
Yeah.
We had 2 school-related episodes Episode 226, take Camaro to school, and 227, back to school with Camaro.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny. I don't think we planned that.
No.
Camaro driving school, and with summer winding down and kids going back to school. So, oh, cool. Well, let's see what else. Camaro 6, no regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Not even one letter.
Yeah, Tom Peters, another friend of ours, said he wouldn't change a thing about the Camaro 6. No regrets at all.
No.
And, another thing that was threaded out throughout the year was the 2020 Ford Mustang GT500. Pretty impressive. And John Force dropped the F-bomb on live TV.
Way to go, John.
Yeah, way to go. 229, Woodward Cruise. What'd you think of that?
That was great. I always have fun at Woodward. Always. Stood in line, saw the C8 in person for the first time, and then as I walked away from that, I saw a couple just parked on a side street.
Nope. Just checking them out. They are incredible cars, no doubt. Woodward, let's see, Labor Day Camaro news. Ran that best of show again with the F-Bot Father. That is by far our most listened to episode of all time, is it not?
We have to.
Yeah.
Scott is such a instrumental and important person, and let's admit that the Camaro's history, like since we've been involved in this car, talking about it.
Yep. LS Fest was last weekend. This is episode number 233. I tried to go to LS Fest and I couldn't get in.
Right. You were in a giant long line and gave up.
Yeah, because it's like by the time I actually get there, it'll be time to turn around and leave. So I'll just go home and drink beer in my garage.
Yeah.
That was a bummer. Oh yeah, episode 234. Those special Camaros for Hertz.
Yep.
Oh,
those were
this
awesome.
is when the GM strike was going on too.
234?
It started actually before that, but it was in the thick of it. And this was for 234. What that was September. Brutal. I'm glad that's over with. At least as far as I know, it's still over with, right?
Mm-hmm. What else we got here? 235. Retro Camaro rendering abominations. Sometimes you get some winners, sometimes you get your losers. What'd you think of that rendering that came out this week? It looked like a Roadster ZL1.
Oh, I thought it was really cool. But have you ever tried driving a car without a windshield?
No.
Well, when I was in Vegas for SEMA, I rented a Slingshot, and it has like a little teeny tiny blade of a windshield. But like in the way my height was in the seat, and the seat isn't really adjustable by too much. The top of the windshield was about nose level, so wind was in my eyes.
Oh.
And, you could wear a helmet or goggles and everything, but I didn't do that because I just rented it for a few hours. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun not having a windshield. There's a reason why they're there.
Yeah. Because it's called a wind shield.
I mean, that rendering looks pretty cool. We can probably talk about that in the future if you guys want to, but it's highly improbable.
Highly improbable.
Oh, Camaro Con.
Matt did a fantastic job in Las Vegas, bringing a whole bunch of people, kind of like we called it LS Fest West.
Right. I can easily see that just becoming a big thing,
Fest.
just like
Camaro Fest West.
Yeah. I can see that becoming a thing, just like LS Fest is.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Matt's a good guy. Matt's a really good guy. Who is the Camaro buyer? This is a neat one. I don't remember why though.
We're talking about how Dodge Charger is luring Camaro buyers in. People are trading in their Camaros, I think they said, for Chargers. Because
it was
four-door, whatchamacallit.
There was a lot of conquest sales happening. People trading in their Jeeps or the Camaros for Jeep Wranglers.
What's up with that?
So there's a market out there, and people were really. Maybe that tells you a lot about what's going on with the industry. There's a market for them, clearly, but they're clamoring for each other's sales, and they're trolling each other. They're getting a little aggressive about it. 238, you could build your own 2020 Camaro online. Finally. 239, just like we were talking about. Ditch the Mustang, get a Camaro. Chevy will give Ford Mustang owners $3,000 to get into a Camaro.
That's still going on right now, too.
Is it?
Yep.
240 was a best of show. Camaro Fest 8. 241, not long ago, man. The SEMA show.
Good memories. Good memories from the SEMA show.
Yep.
Not a whole lot of Camaro stuff though.
No. Nope.
I'm gonna have to reevaluate SEMA next year, because if it continues to downsize as it's been, I don't know if I'll be going anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I keep losing money at the tables, I probably shouldn't be going anymore. 242 was more SEMA show.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we had an interview. He had an interview with it was the engine that was it the V16 or company? We played that.
Oh no, that was the
V12.
No, the article was that was a reference to the engine in the ARP booth that Muscle Cars and Trucks covered, but was the interview with the V12 LS guy from Australia that I ran into.
That's right.
Listened to our show before. That guy's so cool. I would love to have some beers with him. Awesome guy. That's what cars are all about, I think. Making new friends and really appreciating the mutual appreciation. 243, once again, we talk about electric performance. And 244, we still talked about electric performance.
Right, because that's when they decided to show the Mustang Mach-E.
That we mentioned earlier, yeah. 245 was a best of show. The reason why we do best of shows is because, well, we don't want to miss a week.
Right.
We just want to make sure we give you something.
Right.
And sometimes I'm away for work, or I can't make it for whatever reason, or quite honestly, because news is super slow and it'd be just a couple of idiots talking about dumb crap just like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. 246. Those Camaro discounts kept going, just like you said. That was December 15th. And then, of course, 247. Merry Christmas, Camaro.
The Camaro dogs.
With the Camaro dogs. We got an email, a couple episodes ago, give or take. Somebody saying, "Hey, don't forget about the new listeners. They may not know what things mean, like by how you can read show notes, which is you just go to CamaroShow.com, and each episode has one.
Right.
Also, a reminder of let's talk about this. Where the Christmas dogs came from. We don't know. I think it was just a sound clip that we had because you had Bassett's.
Right, and you would be here, and sometimes we would record. You would come over after work, and we'd be here in the afternoon, and we'd have the dogs down here, or they would be upstairs, and then my wife would come home from work, and then
they'd bark,
and then they would bark, and we would sit here and go, okay. And sometimes they would make the show, and sometimes they would be edited out. So I think that's where the dogs came from.
Well, I didn't make that Christmas song.
No.
Somebody else did, but I think that's what prompted it. Was it that what prompted us to say, let's include the dogs in our holiday glee episodes?
Right.
And then for some reason I remember that audio clip, but I just don't remember where. We've been doing it every Christmas episode
for 15 years.
Yep. What we used to do that we need to bring back is the Jones Soda taste tests.
Oh my God! Well, if Jones would come out with something, we could do that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we'd have to do something else,
like Death Nut Challenge or something like that.
Shout out Al.
Yep, Al got some the Death Nut Challenge, where he was a packet of nuts, and each one is progressively hotter and hotter until you die of nuts.
Yeah.
These
nuts.
Let's see here. What else do we want to let you guys know? Oh, how to listen to the show. If you're listening to the show on one thing or another, don't forget that there's other means to do it that might be more convenient for like number one, people listen to the most on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
But we also have Google Play, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartMedia. You can subscribe via RSS, which does anybody even do that anymore?
I don't know.
But you can also listen directly on the website at CamaroShow.com, right there in your browser.
Right. And you can go through the show notes while you are listening to the show as well. So that's why I create those notes, so you can go back and not have to pause the show and say, no, where would they say? Where'd they get that from?
That's right.
You can just click a link and go right there and read the article or see the source that we're talking about.
That's actually what we used to do the year in review as well. We used to have a phone number. You could call a phone number and listen to the episodes on your phone.
Yeah, that died.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like if you're sitting in a cubicle and you wanted to pretend like you're on a conference call, you just listen to the podcast.
Yeah, it was an RSS feed that linked right to a phone number, and then that was awesome.
That was pretty cool. Here's some stats here. Most listened to episode, we talked about this, which was the Future of Camaro Show number 222. Top countries, number 1 and number 2, U.S. and Canada, no surprise. France, number 3. Top cities in the United States. I wrote Chicago and New
York.
New York, right. Most popular source, I also mentioned that, Apple Podcasts. And according to our stats, almost 50,000 episodes were streamed or listened to by somebody throughout the year. It's 137 times a day somebody listens to our show. Not huge, but not bad for a couple of dudes that just like to do this once a week just for fun.
Yeah.
We've only been doing it for 15 years. But
yes,
podcasts are getting bigger.
Yes. I mean, we've been doing. I mean, we were in the infancy of podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
You notice nowadays everybody has a podcast.
Yep. Interesting. We used to be in the top 10 automotive podcasts in iTunes all the time.
Yeah. Now they've changed the categories now, and
yeah.
I mean, there is still an automotive one, but now it's under something else.
Yeah.
To check.
Yeah, but well, here we are. Year in review. 2019 was an interesting one. It had some ups and downs. There was a while when it was just Camaro was unstoppable, and now, like I said, the market is going through some growing pains, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I noticed a lot of people commenting online over the last couple months. They're trying to buy new cars, and they go to GM, and well, there's no cars really being offered by General Motors anymore.
What do you mean?
Like they're all SUVs.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
you know, kind of like what Ford did. You know,
mm-hmm.
there's not a big selection to choose from anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for someone who just wants to get into a vehicle like a car, not an SUV, not a sports car,
a sedan.
Yeah. You know, before it was Cruise and Malibu and Impala, and then you had Buick and all them. But if you're just looking at a Chevrolet, slim pickings nowadays. You know.
Yeah. Yep. In fact, when I picked up my Corvette from the dealership, I was just kind of strolling around, and I realized I didn't even realize it at first until you mentioned it. There's nothing but trucks and SUVs, and there was a nice Impala out front. I took a look at that, but when their courtesy shuttle picked me up, it was a brand new. I don't know what it was. I think it might have been a Blazer. I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah.
I just got in it because I was too busy thinking about can't wait to drive my Corvette. But it was nice. It was. You could tell it was a normal model. It wasn't. It was like not a base model, but not a high end model. But it was really nice. Yeah. I was looking at the fit and finish of it. I mean, the thing was brand. It still had the little protective sticker on the entertainment center screen or whatever the hell you want to call it. Yeah. So the cars are getting better, but they're getting, like you said, the pickings is the variety is getting pretty slim. What do you predict 2020 is going to bring? Maybe we should revisit this episode 1 year ago from now and see if any of our predictions are right.
Yeah.
Like if you can name one prediction that's going to be the guaranteed prediction for 2020, what do you think it's going to be?
I think they're going to sell more Camaros than 2019.
Do you think it's going to be because they're going to discount them?
No, because I think they came out with that LT1 model.
Okay.
I think a little bit cheaper car is going to be able to get more people into it. So I think they're going to be able to sell more of them. That's my prediction.
Lowers the barrier to entry.
Yes.
Okay, what about non-Camaro? What about just automotive industry predictions?
I think we're going to be talking more electric again, too.
Mm-hmm. That was going to be mine as well. Mm-hmm. More electric.
You know, Tesla's supposed to be out this year with their Model Y, which is like their 3, but it's like the SUV version of like the 3.
Yep.
So if that comes to fruition, if they actually hit a timeline, then we should see another electric car coming into the mix here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if Michigan will ever accept Tesla without their car dealerships. That's an ongoing fight here. I mean, there's tons of Teslas around here now, but you can't buy them here. You got to buy them from another state, or you just buy it online. They ship it.
Yeah. They are neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we're going to see more electric. I don't know if I don't know if I agree with that. We're going to sell more Camaro. Do you think we're going to see? I'm trying to think. Do you think we're going to see a Z28 after all? Muscle Cars and Trucks says no.
I don't think so.
I wonder if Camaro's just going to play the Challenger game and just start holding steady.
I don't know.
Change the price point, and not change the car.
Yeah.
Because it's a great car. There's no question about that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see how things go. We encourage you to always call into our voicemail hotline and tell us what you want us to talk about. Tell us what you think is going to happen in the next year or years. Tell us what bothers you about the Camaro, what you wish would happen. Give us something to talk about. We'd love to hear from you guys. Our voicemail hotline number is all over the Camaro Show website.
2020 is the start of another new decade, so it's going to be interesting. We've been doing this for how long? The 90s now, the 2000s, the teens, and now we're into the 20s. Oh my God, we're old.
Might as well just get in a box and die. Real quick, side note, my mom asked me a question the other day. Since we're talking about old dudes, we got some old dudes listening to the show. My mom's asked me, she said, what do you think is the best age to live and the worst age to live? She said, think about it before you tell me. Well, it turns out 20 years ago, she asked me that very question and I answered it. And she reminded me of what my answers were.
So did they change?
Absolutely. I was the only one that said that the best was in the past and the worst is in the future. Of all that, she did it for a class she was taking. My grandfather said, the age that I am right now is just great. He's passed away since then. It's been 20 years, but that means a lot right there. That says it all. But then the best age, I said, so I was 27 years old when she asked me this. I said that 17 was the best age because you were on the brink of something great. Like the whole world just flung its doors open and you could go anywhere. And the worst age was 45 because your path is already set. You've made your choices and you're stuck with it. And actually, I was going to say probably the best age is 45 because that's when I kind of got into a groove with my life. I finally got settled. I finally felt comfortable with where I was in life. And I bought a Corvette because I was old. And something to think about for the end of this year and going into the new year.
Yeah.
The best age is the one that you're living now. Any day above ground is good. And we thank you for being part of us. We thank you for listening, and we want to have you continue to listen to us and continue to be above ground.
Yeah. And Happy New Year, everyone.
Yes.
Remember, if you're going to drink and drive, call an Uber.
Yeah. There is no excuse anymore.
Yes. If you're drinking, you're not going to be driving.
Or just do what I do. Get drunk at home.
Yeah. There you go.
On behalf of all the men and women of General Motors, buckle your safety belts and do not drink and drive.
Yep. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you.
Thanks for listening to The Camaro Show.
Don't forget, drop us a voicemail at 586-486-3182.
We'll see you next week. See ya.